على نهجك مشيت بدربك مضيت نوري حبيبي المصطفى بك اقتديت على نهجك مشيت ومنك استقيت نوري حبيبي المصطفى بك اقتديت
My dear brothers, again, distractions, distractions, distractions. So Ramadan, particularly in our home countries, in Egypt, in Saudi Arabia, in Pakistan, in Bangladesh, it's all about eating food. Food. How many samosas have I finished, and how many curries, the types of curry my wife has cooked. You are spending the whole day during Ramadan cooking, and the whole night she is tired. She cannot achieve anything. No reading the Quran, no connection with Allah subhanahu wa ta'ala. No, this is not what Ramadan is for. So what you need to do, my dear brothers, is simply keep away from all types of distraction. The most distracting two things is sleeping and the gadgets and the TV. Okay, many people, they spend the whole night of Ramadan away. Why? Watching the TV. They finish Tarawih maybe, and then they keep watching the TV, making some jokes with their friends until the Fajr comes, and then they sleep after Fajr and they get up at 2 o'clock. Hey, Ramadan is too long, man. Let's finish it like this. No, but the whole point is to make, alhamdulillah, Ramadan, Allah is giving us quite a long time. And Ramadan, we can achieve a lot of things. We don't take this time to sleep. I'm not saying don't sleep. I'm saying sleep as little as possible. And don't waste your time sleeping. And if you are addicted to the TV or so, try to detach you. So you say, I'm listening to Islam channel, I'm listening to this Islamic channel. Believe me, brothers, too many programs, even religious programs, will waste your time. So maybe define one or two programs that you find the most beneficial and the most rewarding, and keep the rest, record it if possible. Okay, watch it on YouTube later on when it is repeated after Ramadan, to keep yourself connected, and obviously keep away from anything that is haram or disturbing to your aqidah and to your religion, inshallah. Also, Umar ibn Khattab says, I am not concerned about accepting my dua, because this is in the hands of Allah subhanahu wa ta'ala. I'll try my best. But I'm concerned about making my dua. So when you go and meet the prime minister or a councillor or the council leader or an MP, you try to dress the best, choose your words, prepare what you are going to say. Now you are meeting with Allah subhanahu wa ta'ala, and He promises you in Ramadan He will fulfill your wishes. So try to study the words of the Prophet ﷺ and some du'as, beautiful du'as that are comprehensive. And you can get many books of dua, like Hisn al-Muslim, the fortress of the believer. Okay, you can get a book like this. You can just go to Google and type some beautiful du'as. You can say this in Arabic, which is better, or even in your own language, whichever you find convenient, English or Urdu, Pashto, whatever. Okay, so you can say these du'as and divide your du'as into three portions. One portion for yourself, one portion for your family and friends, and one portion for the Ummah of Muhammad sallallahu alaihi wasallam, Muslims in general. So by this you have achieved everything. You made a comprehensive dua for yourself, for your family and friends, the loved ones, and for the Ummah at large. And by this, inshallah, Allah subhanahu wa ta'ala will accept from you. So let me quickly recap. So failing to plan is planning to fail. So make a plan. Make it written down, because targets which are written are better achieved than targets which are oral or in the head only. Also make it measurable by saying I'll finish this time of this limit, this level of the Quran, or this juz of the Quran that day, because the general targets you will end up not doing anything or doing a little bit of it. Also be ambitious, okay, within your own abilities to achieve. So if you can do something, for example, you can finish 20 pages of the Quran, okay, why not make them 25 and 30? If you could do that, alhamdulillah. If you couldn't do it, at least you had a good intention, and Allah subhanahu wa ta'ala will give you the reward. However, also try to look at your points of weakness and try to improve in a few of these 5, 7 or more or less based on your ability, because it's not possible to change everything in one go. And also collective deeds, collective action is easier, I forgot to highlight this point, to achieve than the individual one. So if you pray Taraweeh with a group of people, maybe this is not possible now in the lockdown, but if you pray, generally speaking, if you pray Taraweeh with a group of people, it's much easier for you when you pray individually. When you sit in a halaqah and read the Quran together, that's much easier for you when you do individually. When you sit in a group and learn the tafsir or the hadith, it's much easier for you when you do it individually. Okay, so collective work or working in a group during and after Ramadan is much easier for you to achieve your target. So try to do this at least with your family members in the lockdown. Also, try to dedicate a time for the Quran only every day. Again, I suggested maybe reading 2 pages before the Zuhr and 2 pages after, or 4 pages after if you're going to finish 20 pages. So 4 pages before or after, or before and after each one of the 5 daily prayers. And by this you'll pray and you will read the Quran and you remember Allah before and after the prayer. Also, try to seclude yourself in a room for a specific period of time, no distractions, particularly from your phones, from your family, etc. You only with Allah subhanahu wa ta'ala, and don't use your phone to read the Quran. Reuse a hard copy because that is better and keep you away from distraction. Also, you can have 3 types of dealing with the Quran. 1/3 of the time for reading without understanding, 1/3 for reading with the translation or with the tafsir, and 1/3 for memorization. Also, keep away from the TV and the gadgets and things that waste our times. Food and TV programs and making big walimas for Ramadan. This is not the month. The month of Ramadan is actually all about restricting your food, access to food. But people are doing the other way around. In the daytime, I'm not touching any food. In the night time, I'll finish all the food in the world. No, that is not what Ramadan is all about. Okay? Again, try to concentrate on the type of dua that you're going to make and divide it, one for yourself, one for your family and friends, one for the Muslim Ummah in general. The final point I'm going to make, my dear brothers, is plan to be after Ramadan a better person than you were in Ramadan. If Ramadan did change you to a better person, then it really didn't work. Or your intention was not sincere enough. So I'm not saying be a role model after Ramadan. If you can, that is good. But let's be realistic. Okay? If you are Ramadan, you're doing everything good, and after Ramadan, back to normal. Nothing is changed. Maybe worse. What did you achieve? That's why the Prophet says, أحب الأعمال إلى الله أدومها وإن قال. The most beloved deeds to Allah are the ones which are continuous, even if they're little. If you read 1 page of the Quran every day, it's better than reading the Quran 100 times during Ramadan and then stop. If you read 2 rak'ahs before you go to bed every day, it's better than praying 100 rak'ahs of tahajjud and tarawih in Ramadan and then not doing it again. So try to have Ramadan, or to make Ramadan have an impact on you, to be a better person after Ramadan than you were before Ramadan. Don't expect to be you at the same level as you were in Ramadan. That is not practical. But try to be better than the person you were in Ramadan and before Ramadan. And if you increase by 5% every Ramadan, inshallah, within a few years, you will be a very good believer. We ask Allah subhanahu wa ta'ala to make us all good believers. I'll stop here, inshallah. May Allah accept from us all. Jazakumullahu khairan. Wassalamu alaikum wa rahmatullahi wa barakatuh. Yes, Jazakallah khairan, brother Ahsan. That is a wonderful question. I answered it in GMT last year. So the Quran was revealed in 2 different ways. Okay, the first revelation is the entire Quran being sent in one go from the throne of Allah subhanahu wa ta'ala in the 7th heaven, from the preserved tablets, all the way into the heavenly, so the lowest heaven. Into what? The lowest heaven. This is called the collective revelation of the Quran. You understand? That happened in Ramadan during Laylatul Qadr. That's why Allah subhanahu wa ta'ala says, Inna anzalnahu, we have sent it down, the Quran as a whole in one go in Laylatul Qadr in Ramadan. And then we have the gradual revelation of the Quran, which was the 23-year lifespan of Prophet Muhammad sallallahu alaihi wasallam, and this was from the lower heaven to the heart of Prophet Muhammad sallallahu alaihi wasallam over a span of 23 years. So there are 2 types of revelation. One of revelation, and that was in Laylatul Qadr, and the gradual revelation, which was over the 23 years. There is no contradiction. Hope that answers your question, inshallah.
Jazakallah khair, Sheikh. Thank you.
Jazakallah khair. Any more questions, brothers? Again, unmute yourself and then ask the question, inshallah. Roman, yes, it.
Assalamu alaikum, Sheikh. Just a quick question,
Waalaikum
Islam. Akhi, just in relation to the children reading, reciting the Quran. I know it's very difficult for them to do the wudu and to hold the Quran, etc. What's the ruling on children? Again, people younger than puberty touching the Quran, and even adults touching the Quran without wudu. Not saying the justice or anything. Not just without wudu.
The question of touching the Quran without wudu is already a controversial issue among the scholars. The majority would say you have to have wudu for touching the Quran. By touching, physical touching of the Quran, like you are touching the pages of the paper version of the Quran. Okay, that's what we mean. So reading the Quran without touching or reading from your mobile, it does not require wudu anyhow, because this is not a physical touch. But now I asked you, for example, to use a paper copy of the Quran. Obviously, it's one of the manners and the etiquettes of the Quran to have wudu. But the dispute is, do I have to, or is just recommend? Okay, yeah. So the majority would say you have to, particularly the Hanafi school. But actually, all the dispute about a few hadiths and the main ayah in this Quran that says لا يمسه إلا المطهرون. Only the purified ones or the ones of purity can touch it. So the word eat here is referring to what?
I don't know. I'm not sure.
Yeah, this is what the dispute. The word eat here, some scholars, the majority interpreters referring to the Quran. So the ayah says nobody can touch the Quran except the purified or those who have purity, which is the translation. The scholars translate or interpret for those who have purity, those who have wudu, because wudu is purity. And that's based on the opinion. They say, oh, nobody can touch the physical Quran except with purity, which means when they are in the state of wudu. The other opinion, which is actually managed and sponsored more by the scholar Ibn Hazm, and then you see, says, no, hold on. Look at the ayah that you're talking about. The ayah is talking about the preserved tablet. It's not talking about the Quran. Allah says it is an honorable Quran in a preserved tablet. So the ayah before this, before nobody touches it except the purified.
Sure.
So it here, the ayah before it says, it is the Quran, an honorable book in a preserved tablet. Nobody can touch it except the purified. So it here, is it referring to the honorable Quran or is it referring to the preserved tablet?
Preserved tablet, much.
Yes. If we say it's referring to the preserved, the Quran, then nobody can touch it except the purified, then it makes sense that you must have wudu. Ibn Hazm says, no, look, Allah is speaking about the preserved tablet, and the purified here does not mean those who have wudu. It means the angels, and they were described in many parts of the Quran and the Sunnah as the purified.
Sure.
So the ayah is speaking about the preserved tablet, which can be accessed only by the purified angels. So nothing to do with the Quran. Got it? And I myself prefer this, even though I would agree and I would say it's 100% better to have wudu while reading the Quran. But when it's too much difficult, like kids going to Quran classes and they stay there 2-3 hours, and every time they need to go to the toilet, it's not manageable. Okay? So it would be much better and to have the Quran. But if given the other opinion, which I personally prefer, I say you don't have to have the wudu for the Quran. But obviously, it's definitely much better if you can do the Quran, because the fact that you have wudu alone will give you reward and will give you extra reward as a matter of extra respect for the book of Allah subhanahu wa ta'ala. Jazakumullah khairan. Assalamu alaikum wa rahmatullahi wa barakatuh.
ليتك دوما قريب